Zidane Daney, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat here on Electro Ninja's Lab. I am here with my fellow host,
I'm Jack.
and today we thought we would discuss Avatar. Um, we'll just see exactly where we go. Jack was just watching the show, and we were like, "Oh yeah, Avatar, it's great." But yeah, there's a few things that I'd briefly like to discuss. Basically, our thoughts over the original show, the comics, Korra, and a little bit about the upcoming movie, which yes, we know it is out and leaked and blah 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 blah. We have not watched it. We are waiting until it is official because we are good little beans. Um, and yeah, so yeah, waiting for official release, and yeah. Um, so yeah, neither of us have watched it. As well as talk a little bit about the upcoming show as well. Um, which yeah. So I think so. First off, I want to talk a little bit about the show versus the live action show. So we have watched both, right? You've watched both, right?
Yep.
Okay. Um, what did you think of the live action as a whole?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously nothing ever compares to the original because the original is the original.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did a good job. They did it pretty much scene for scene,
Yep.
which is pretty much all I can ask.
Yeah. A few of the like they did cut a few episodes, or they merged a few episodes because like what are you gonna do? You can't. Some of those things were just really would not have worked well, especially with the live action, and their time constraints. They had to be careful and combine certain episodes into one episode. Um,
True.
so there are certain aspects to that. Um, but they did do a lot of really good things with that. And another thing that I briefly want to discuss is the LGBT stuff. Because a lot of people, I did see a few people like being all complaining and stuff about there being some of that in the live action, but really, like especially um, in the Cave of Two Lovers, um, because those were in obviously the original it was a heterosexual couple. Um, in the live action, they changed it to be a gay couple, and I think it's fine. I don't think that there's any issues whatsoever about that, especially considering the fact that the creators are pretty they have a lot of LGBT characters in most of their shows, or most like if you read the comics, you'll notice that they put a lot of that in there, because the comics code was a lot less restrictive on them compared to Nickelodeon. So the Nickelodeon, when it came to the shows, was a lot more restrictive, I think, than the comic side of things. And then when you watch Korra, you realize, oh yeah, they were planning on they wanted to put this in there. Um, like while Korra may be bi, um, and as was her girlfriend, um, they wanted to hint at that for a while. They were hinting at the possibility of that happening for a while. They just were extremely cautious, and they only had it in the end. And I think part of that is because of the fact that Nickelodeon was probably restrictive on that. Um,
Probably.
so, and then obviously seeing what they did in Dragon Prince, yeah, that's. Uh, they are not subtle at all with any of that. Which really goes to show that they had like a lot more control over that. Which does lead me to wonder if um, the live action is the live action and the cartoon. I think that somewhere in the middle is probably their true canon in their heads of like what they wanted the story to be. Um, because obviously, yeah, restrictions, especially with the original, and then they probably didn't have as many restrictions when it came to the live action, is my guess. Um, so yeah, um, like obviously they didn't want to change too much because obviously people love the original. But there were a few
Yeah.
things that they were like, oh, well, we kind of would like to have this be a little bit more blatant. Especially like Uma and Shu, I think from the Tunnel of Two Lovers. Um, that specifically, like they kind of could have like it could have been a hint that they were doing that originally, but they changed. But they couldn't do that because of restrictions, especially at the time. Um, but yeah, it's interesting to say the least. Um, and like I said, I think in the comics they were a little bit more blatant about it. Like I think there were characters who were just straight up gay. I think there were a lot of characters in that. I kind of want to read more of the comics. I only have the original comic run that came after the show. Basically, so like the promise, the answer, so on and so forth. Um, I think that was what it was. The search. Yeah. What are they actually? So yeah, the promise, the search, the rift, smoke and shadow, north and south, and imbalance. That's what I have. Um, and basically each of those is really going into in depth with a lot of what happened after everything that in the original series, and I think that is going to be important knowledge for people who are excited for the movie, because how did they get to where they are from how the show ended? Well, read the comics. The comics shows pretty much all of that. Um, Sokka and Suki's relationship, Aang and Katara's relationship, Zuko and being the Fire Lord and all that jazz. What happened with Toph, especially when it came to her metal bending and stuff like that. Um, but also, I feel like Korra does a decent job in explaining it. Honestly, I feel like when it comes to the Korra stuff, a lot of probably the best part about Korra is the past, getting to see more of like older Aang, older Katara, older all of them. Mostly it's older Aang. Um, and I don't know. What did you think of Korra in general? Let's talk about that.
Honestly, Korra was not my favorite.
Fair. Um, I think it has a lot of problems with its story, and I think part of that is just due to the fact that pretty much every season of the show, they thought it was going to be their last, as they were making it, and then they were like, "Oh, but actually, we want you to keep going," and then by the end of it, they're like, "Okay, we understand that you want us to make more." Like especially by I want to say the third season, they were like, "Okay, we know they want. They probably are going to want us to make more of this. So let's do setup for season 4, and then when we do season 4, we'll also do some setup for like what could go on if they do decide to continue it for us." Um, and they did do a lot of that. Obviously, the show got canceled after season 4, but they knew at that point, okay, if it gets canceled, it's not going to be the end of the world. But hey, let's get this prepped so that we have something to bounce off of if it ends up like that. And especially with the villains, because like the early villains, especially like they finish them off and then they're done with them. They don't want to go. They kill them off. They're done. We don't have to worry about them ever again. And I think it would have been really interesting seeing, especially season 1 and season two's villains, kind of continuing to rise up and be problematic. But they really didn't get a chance to do that because, well, they got all this stuff. And I think especially with, I think it was season 2 with that was with Harmonic Convergence, I think, where they ended it. I have to look this up now because that's gonna bug me. Ba 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 ba. Or do they not have? They don't have it on here. Frick. So Netflix has regular Avatar, but it does not have Korra. That's fun. Okay, that's whatever. I don't know. Not super important. I don't remember timelines. It's been a while since I've watched Korra. I have it live action, so it's not like it would be like a not live action. I have a physical copy of the game of the movie or the show. So it's not like it's hard to find. But yeah, I believe that the first season was with Amon. The second season was with the big spirit guy, and then the third and fourth season kind of like deal with a lot of that. I think what was it? So it was third season was the air guy, who was a jackass, and then the fourth season was Kuvira, right? Whatever her fucking name was. The stupid earthbender chick.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And even though they like end it off, it's like, I don't know, it's weird. And I feel like when it came to that, it was just like they didn't do enough setup. They didn't do a lot of things with that to make sure that Korra really did well. And then there's the stuff about like, was Aang a bad dad? A lot of people say that Aang was a bad dad, but at the same time, we really don't see how we're seeing it through the eyes of the of his kids. And like, let's be honest, every kid has like big issues with their dad here and there. And they're always going to have like this was really shitty of them. But also, like, I think that frickin' Film Theory did a discussion on whether or not he was a bad dad. And in actuality, like, the kids don't hate Aang. They're bitter about certain things, such as, like, yeah, Aang is especially because like Aang was so focused on restoring the Air Nation that because only one of his kids was a airbender, he had to focus more on him rather than focusing on the other kids. But like, they're not from what we gather, especially later on in the comics, apparently they explain that yeah, Aang was like really supportive of his daughter when she revealed that she was gay. And they never really had many issues with that. And he took care of them. Yes, he did focus more on whatever. Why can't I remember their names? I cannot remember their freaking names. I know Boomy was the non-bender. But I keep forgetting who what the first one, what the main guy is. So yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Um, Aang is not a bad dad. I think that's like it's a very basic look at it, and I think that's another thing that a lot of people really have issues with is like, why was Aang such a bad dad? And in actuality, he wasn't. um, and I'm hoping that with the with the new movie that's coming out, or technically out, where they're adults, I'm hoping that will actually help explain like his relationship with his kids, because they are adults, so probably at least one or two of them has been born by that point. Um, is my guess. How many of how many of the kids do you think are born in by the time of the live action or not the live action movie, the new movie?
I would say probably at least two.
At least two, yeah. I don't remember. I don't remember their ages. I don't remember who was first, who was second, and who was third. Um, but at least one of them has to have been born by this point, is my guess. Um, one or two for sure, and um, I mean, granted, they look based off of the images that I've seen, they look still pretty young. They are adults, but they're not necessarily like full adults yet. Um, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Um,
I caught the snake, so we run. We got it. I thought
it'll be fun. It'll be very fun to see what's going to happen with that. When is that supposed to come out, actually? Sometime this year. But it's going to be on Paramount, which kind of sucks. I don't know.
I'm taking a lot of coach. Go get.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we'll watch it. I think it will be fun. It'll be fun for us to watch when it comes out. But also, what do we think of the new the supposedly new show that's going to be coming out at some point, that's going to be focusing on the next Earthbender? Like, there's no information about it. We just know it's coming. What would you want to see in that specifically? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, honestly, hard to say. I honestly don't know.
Yeah. And I think that's the big problem with it, is like, I think one thing I do want to see is I do want to see some ramifications for everything that happened with Korra. Like, especially the air nomads coming back, but also the changes that kind of happened with the air nomads. Because during Aang's time, when Aang was a kid, the air nomads were non-violent. But by the time of the end of Korra, the air nomads are like practically warriors. And it's kind of concerning. They're basically like, to a certain degree, they're like what the frickin' White Lotus was by the end, by the beginning of Korra, where they were kind of like not necessarily a secret police, but they're a multinational police force, kind of Interpol of sorts.
Interpol.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That specifically is really interesting to me, and I would like to see what they do with it. Supposedly there's like video games and stuff like that, and I will probably never watch, or I will probably never play the newest Avatar game, because it's made by a really shitty company. Not shitty as in like their business practices, just shitty as in their games suck.
Fair.
They really they make like a lot of the games based off of like TV shows and stuff, and they just suck at it. I've played 2 of their games, and I'm just like, no more. You've lost all faith. Like, nope, just no. I will never play another game by you guys. Sorry, you failed so spectacularly. Never again. Just never again. I don't care. Like, you failed when it came to lore. Like, you failed with the miraculous one. You failed with the what was the other one? Cobra Kai. That was the other one that I played by them, and it's like you failed with both of those. I do not think that you will ever be able to make your way back with that. There's no way I'm playing Avatar. There's no way I'm playing the second miraculous game you did. Supposedly that one is better, but I refuse to play it because they failed so spectacularly with the first one. So I don't know. Maybe they did decent with the Avatar game. I don't know. I haven't seen a single person talk about it, so probably not.
Fair. It's probably garbage.
It probably is. Like, these people are not, well, good game creators. So yeah. And I guess there are other Avatar games they've made like back in the day when when the show was first coming out. Looks like THQ did one. Which, knowing that it was THQ, it's probably not that bad. But especially considering the fact that they did make quite a few good games at the time for that were based off of video games based off of movies and shows and stuff like that. Which is kind of bizarre to think about. Like, why was it that video games based off of movies and shows during our time were really, really good? Well, not really, really good, but a lot of them were good compared to now, where they're just shit. There's no redeeming them. They're just shit.
You know, it makes me wonder if were they really good when we played them, because if they're designed for kids, how good can they be?
Well, I've played the remastered version of Battle for Bikini Bottom, and that's still good. That's still really good. And I've also replayed Spiderwick Chronicles since I was a kid. That game still holds up. It's insane that game still holds up. I don't know.
That is insane.
Like, I don't know if you've read or watched. I know you've watched the Spiderwick Chronicles. Have you read them?
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So the video game of that specifically was surprisingly good because it took aspects. So it primarily focuses on the movie, which, big surprise, it's a game based off of a movie, but it still took aspects from the original books. And you kind of have to when it comes to that, because Spiderwick is such a massive world. Holly Black and I'm forgetting the guy's name, but they did so much world building, both in the books and then with the journal, and
yeah,
it's insane. So because they had built up all of this stuff, the video game had so much to work with, and they just ran with it, and it's great. We're going completely off topic right now, but it's insane that exists to be like one. I still hold that up as like, this is what you could create if you made a good movie video game.
Yeah.
And like, that's insane to me. I would love to see an actual Spiderwick Chronicles video game that is just based off of the books, not based off the movie, not based off of the crappy show that was made. I don't actually know how bad the show was, but I do know that like there's a lot of things with like Mulgarath and them knowing who he is and stuff like that, like really early. They're blatant with this in the trailers, and
Yeah.
I do not want to watch it because I know there's so many issues that have to be happening with that. I think they merged the boys in Spiderwick Chronicles, which
No.
I could be wrong about that, but I think they did. I
That's
don't
stupid.
like. I don't give a shit about the fact that they race swapped everyone. But like a lot of the stuff, story wise, when it comes to like that you can just tell based off of the show or based off the trailers, it's just like, what are you doing here? Seriously, what are you doing here? That concerns me. I kind of want to. Let me see if I can find the stuff with that. It's really telling that when you search Spiderwick, the movie still comes up. Show. Let's see here. Okay. No, they didn't merge Jared and Simon. I thought they did, but I guess.
Oh,
they
good.
didn't. Okay, that's good. I thought that they did something stupid. It's also only on Roku, so there's another. So that's the other issue.
Weird.
So it might not be as bad as it looks. I don't know. I'm concerned about it because there's a lot of like story things that are very weird. If you look up Spiderwick Chronicles the show, the guy who's front and center in the first picture, that's Mulgarath.
Oh.
Yeah. Like they blatantly say that that's him in the show. Supposedly that's also Arthur Spiderwick. And he's basically taking on that appearance a lot.
Okay.
And it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you pretending to be Arthur Spiderwick? Everyone's supposed to be thinking he's dead. And also, like, I think that's kind of the yeah. So there's like another image where he's holding up the Seeing Stone, and you can see that it's Mulgarath through the Seeing Stone. I don't know if that's actually supposed to be Spiderwick, but or if I'm misremembering things. If I'm misremembering the trailer stuff, but it's weird to me. It's weird that that's supposedly Mulgarath. Like, why in the world would you ever show Mulgarath as a human when you're and not just a human, but a human who is working among the people? That's weird. That's like the big thing with the trailer that concerns me. So maybe there's more to it. Maybe it's a bit better than I think it is. But when you're dealing with something like this, where it's only really on one service and it's Roku, like that's problematic, I think. And yeah, and it's got pretty bad ratings. Like just for IMDb, just for an example, 5.3 out of 10.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like there's worse on IMDb. There's a lot worse on IMDb, but like compared to the original movie, I don't think the original movie did that well either though. Let's see here. IMDb. I want to see the IMDb score. That's a 6.5. And like I understand that to a certain degree. Like it's not necessarily like the best movie ever, but yeah. I loved it. That was but Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 81. So like it's 63 on the popcorn meter, but 81 with the tomato meter. So which is kind of sad. But what is the movie actually? What is the movie on Rotten Tomatoes? That's one thing I want to know. Or not the movie, the show. Rotten Tomatoes. There we go. Rotten Tomatoes, Spiderwick show. Okay, I guess the audience actually liked it because the audience gave it a 75. The tomato meter is 46%.
When, like
So-
100 years ago?
It might not be that bad. It probably isn't that bad, but yeah, I don't know. I need to watch it and actually see like what I think of it. I think the problem is that because the fact that it is only on it's only on Roku as far as I'm aware.
And I input. Now, our first step is to determine the identity of their commanding officer.
His name is Zhao. Middle-aged, big sideburns, big
Well,
attempt-
I guess it might be on Prime, so it's not like super bad, but I think you have to pay for it.
Oh,
I don't know if you have to pay for it with the like separately, or if you have to pay for it for, or if you have Prime, then you can watch it. I don't know. Not important. We should get back to Avatar because Avatar is important. That's what we were supposed to be talking about today. Welcome to Nerd Chat. We talk about everything but the actual topic.
word.
Oh my gosh. But yeah. Also, what do you speaking of Avatar though, what did you think of the or have you read any of the books?
Is nearly full of
I have not read any of the books. I've read some of the comics.
Okay. Yeah, I think that I'm kind of in the same boat. They look interesting. I do want to read them. I just haven't gotten the chance to. I probably could just get them on Audible or something and listen to them, but yeah, I don't know. I'd like to read them, especially like I'd like to know more about why am I forgetting their names?
TV ships, there's just too many.
Roku for sure. Roku would be fun. I want to see more about him, but also like he has the most backstory in the original show. The Kyoshi's would be really. I'd like to know more about her, especially because like she. While we do know quite a bit about her, we don't really know that much. And then I'm forgetting who the water guy was before Aang.
Well,
Or technically before Kyoshi, but
I do not remember his name.
I don't know. I don't think any of us know his name. So yeah. But also apparently there the new season of the live action is coming out soonish. Sometime it's looks like it's sometime in summer.
Nice.
They already look significantly older. Holy shit.
I mean, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Holy crap. They aged fast.
Princess, you wait.
Oh my gosh, that's just kids age so fast, and I think especially when it came to Avatar, like they had to do this, like they really should have changed. They should have filmed everything all at once. They shouldn't have stopped. They should have just kept going.
Yeah.
Because the thing with with Avatar specifically is like it's all within like 6 months. It's so short. It is so short when you look at it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The entire so yeah. I mean maybe if they reworked it so that it's actually like a few years, then maybe. But I think they specifically stated the Sozin Comet thing already. and it's like a few months. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember. I haven't watched the show again since since it first came out. But yeah. No breaks whatsoever. They should have just kept going because the kids when you're dealing with kid actors, you have to do it fast. You have to film extremely fast. Luckily it does seem like Percy Jackson is actually had actually learned that lesson because they're airing each one. The next season is supposed to come out at the end of the year, so yeah. So they are going fast. They're going fast with that. I think they had to delay it a little bit because they needed to make sure that
Find them and get their help.
they wanted to make sure that the show actually did somewhat well. But I think they got. They did confirm that it was going to do well beforehand. I don't know. I think they got permission to start filming right away, but
Wisdom. That's
I
good
don't know.
too.
It was weird.
The
It
only
was weird.
problem is,
Um,
last time
You're distracting me with the Avatar stuff. Anyways, Avatar, but yeah. Oh, I do hope that they do.
was
They
this
do more
weird of
with
a
this.
spirit world?
Your
You
thing
have
is loud.
most spirit like
Anyways, but yeah, you know that's a question. Who's your favorite character across all of Avatar? Media.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Oof. I mean, I want to say Aang, but then like, you know, there's so many good characters.
There really are. And I think like I love Zuko especially because he's got such an like they really go in depth with his backstory and stuff like that, and yes, they show him to be evil, but they kind of also show him to be they
He
show
has
that he's
one hell of a
flawed.
character arc.
He really does. And he's not like his sister, where his sister, like, from the get-go, let's be honest, Azula is evil.
Azula's a crazy evil bitch.
She is such a crazy evil bitch. Zuko, like, you can see, even from the beginning, even though he has, like, flaws and stuff, but knowing what he is, knowing that he's not necessarily evil from the beginning, it's really interesting seeing that from the get-go. Like, I knew when I first started watching Avatar that Zuko was eventually going to turn to the good side.
Yeah.
So getting to see that and like understanding, okay, he's not evil, he's just flawed. And then watching through it, you kind of notice the little bits and pieces where he is a good guy. He's not bad. And I think they really went well. They really developed that, especially in the live action as well. Because they specifically showed that Zuko sacrifice. I think, Zuko. He stood up to his father, and it's them. It is them that he is standing up for in the. I think that's in the live action.
Yeah.
He stood up for them instead of like, and they forced him to do that. I don't know if they really explained that properly in the original show. That it was them that he was standing up for, and that he took their after he lost lost the battle against his dad, he did get some cool. He did take up their specific crew. Their crew joined.
Yeah.
him. I don't know for sure if that was ever. Do you know if that was explained in the original show?
You know, I don't remember.
Yeah. The fact that they betray him, I think that pretty much tells us no. they weren't the same crew, or they didn't. They never found out that that it was the same crew.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But also, let's talk about live action adaptations in general. We should talk about that and how they are so problem frickin' matic. I don't know. We knew when the Avatar show and the Percy Jackson show were originally airing, we knew that there were going to be problems. We knew absolutely that there were going to be problems, and we were very, very cautious. It's very similar to the whole Witch Hat Atelier situation. We knew that we were very, very cautious about the show, because
For sure.
we knew that there was a good chance that that there was going to be some fuck up somewhere along the way, and luckily there wasn't for that. But when it comes to live action stuff, like obviously there's the original live action movie, which is so bad. It's so freaking bad. Like some live action things you can be like, oh yeah, it wasn't too bad if you remove the information that it was the that's based off of the what it was originally based on, then yeah, it's actually like a decent movie. I think one of the best examples I can give of that is the original Aragon movies, or the original Aragon movie, I should say.
Oh my god, so bad.
If you don't know, if you know what it's based on, it's bad. If you watched the movie first, like I did, I love that movie. I love the crap out of that movie. But in actual, so it has its problems. It for sure does. But most of those problems are because of the fact that it was based off of the movie, the book that it was based off of. They changed so much of it, and it is problematic. I'm not gonna say it's not, but if you don't know what it's based on, then it's not too bad. I think the same thing could actually be said about the first Percy Jackson movie.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah. If you have never watched if you've never read Percy Jackson, the first Percy Jackson movie is not bad. Does it have its problems? Absolutely. But is it a terrible, irredeemable movie? No. The second movie is just garbage. There is no redeeming that movie. I specifically watched both movies before I read the books. Just to be like, okay, what are these like? Let me understand, like, what are these like, and then after I watched them, then I read the books, because I was like, okay, I want to read these books. I really should read these books at some point. Let me watch the movies first, see what they're like, and then once I know that, then I will read the books. And then I did that. Love the books. Books are absolutely amazing. The movies, not great if you've read the books. The second movie, though, is so bad. It is so bad. It is not a movie that should be watched. Oh my gosh, that the second movie is just complete and utter garbage. And I'm so glad that now there exists the live action live action series, because now we actually have a version of Percy Jackson that's actually good. So yeah. And then when it comes to Avatar specifically, it's like, it's good. It is a very good adaptation. But if I'm gonna choose between, if I'm gonna watch a show, especially when it comes to Avatar, I'm gonna watch the original show. Maybe when they get to Korra, I might watch Korra and be like, oh, actually, this is actually pretty good. I don't think it's gonna be good. But yeah, we have the original Avatar. We do not have a good version of Percy Jackson except for the show. So, when it comes to live action, or any adaptation, the live action adaptation is the best, or the show. The live action adaptation show is good. It is fantastic. It is the only good version of Percy Jackson that has been made, or adaptation of Percy Jackson that exists. So, yeah. But yeah. And then there's other things. There's so many freaking other ones that are just bad. And like, we should talk about freaking How to Train Your Dragon and the fact that they're gonna make another one of the live actions. Oh my gosh. At least I think they are. I don't know for sure, but I think they are. So the live action How to Train Your Dragon is basically just taking the original cartoon and converting it into live action. That's it. So, and I know you don't like How to Train Your Dragon anyways because of the fact that it's very different from the original.
From the books.
Yeah. So,
yeah, they basically destroyed the entire plot and just kept the character names. Like, literally, they screwed it up so bad, it's unwatchable for me.
yeah. So again, it's for the cartoon, it's an example of, yeah, it's good. It is a very well made movie. It is a very good movie. But if you've watched if you read the books, then it ruins it. That's what it is. It's not, yeah. And I love the shows. I love the movie, or the original movies. The live action then takes it to another level, where it's just like, oh, so you've watched the movie, and now you've watched the live action. Oh, the live action sucks because you've watched the original cartoon. It's like I said, it's basically just a carbon copy, but it's worse somehow. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I need to watch the I need to read the books. I just haven't yet. And you said that that they're very, very different, right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm kidding. We don't need that. Oh yeah. But yeah. What's another?
I remember when the first movie came out, I was so excited because I loved the books, loved them.
Yeah. When did?
And then the movie came out, and I was like, "This is bullshit."
Where's the Wikipedia page? Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I knew you with that. Or wait, let me see. Is this talking about the film?
We were living in Texas.
Yeah, we didn't know each other until after. Yeah, after the second one had come out.
Yeah.
And like, I think when the third one came out, we were kind of like, I was kind of like, oh, we should go watch it, and you're like, no. I think I remember that.
Probably.
I think that happened. I could be wrong. It was 2019, so that was a weird year. But I think I was talking to you about it and was like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna go watch. I think I'm gonna go see the new movie. And I asked you if you were gonna, and you're like, no, it sucks.
Yeah.
So
They're terrible movies.
yeah. Have you even watched the second or third one?
Nope.
Okay. I have heard that the third one was kind of trying to do damage control, is what I've heard. Because
Checks out.
they did like they had the whole "there were dragons when I was a boy" in the trailer as well as in the beginning of the movie. So yeah. Let me see here. Do they have any information about the original the original book? I don't even think they do. What the frick? Why did? Oh, here we go. Yeah. How many books did that have? That had
A lot.
12.
Yeah.
12 books. Jeez Louise. And all but 4 of them were out before the first movie came out.
Yep.
That's insanity. Was she even involved with the creation of the movie?
I doubt it.
Okay. So, yeah, that I should read them. I really should. But I just haven't yet. So, we'll see. We'll see if I ever get around to watching them. But yeah. Or reading them, I should say. I can't speak. What? Just yeah. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah. We were supposed to be talking about Avatar, weren't we?
Yeah, that lasted a good 5 seconds.
Oh, pretty much. We kind of just... to be fair, the topics were kind of connected. Kinda. But yeah, that's... that. Welcome to Nerd Chat, people. Oh, yeah. But, yeah. I wish that they... I wish that we knew more about the next series, about the new cartoon series. What do they have any information about the next Avatar? Is it this thing? Yeah, so it's gonna be called Seven Havens. Oh. Oh. Okay. According to the Wikipedia article, it's very... Yeah, that... okay. It's going to be very different. Basically, a cataclysmic event happened, and the new Avatar is going to be blamed for it. Is kind of like going to be...
Interesting.
That's interesting. Supposedly, it's going to be releasing next year. We'll see how that goes. It hurts. It hurts. That's a thing. Okay. And then when it comes to the movie, that's supposed to come out at the end of the year. Avatar Aang, The Last Airbender. Which, yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Oh. I don't know. I'd like to look into like who all of the different actors are going to be, and whether or not any of the, I don't think any of the actors are going to be the same people.
No?
I don't. No. No, I'm wrong. Some of them are the same actors. I think that the new Toph voice actress is different though. So yeah, because she was played by Michaela Jill Murphy during the original. Obviously, she was played by someone else in by Kate Higgins in Legend of Korra, and then the new one is going to be played by Dion Kwan. I'm not sure, but apparently she's a blind voice actress.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's like part of it. Is like they wanted to have that be the case. There's like so much debate. There's so many people who are like complaining about like the various different things. Like people are complaining that it's not the same. I think for the new for the movie that's coming out, people are complaining that it's gonna be that she's gonna be played by someone who isn't the original voice actress. Is the main reason. But people are like, you're anti whatever, because of the fact, yeah, you don't want to give people, you don't want to give blind people jobs or something like that, is like the debate. And it's like, no, that's not why. And then there's other people who are like, how dare the live action not have an actual blind actor? And it's like, you can't really do that for Toph.
No.
You really can't. I'm sorry. Like, no matter what you do, you really can't. It's the same story with Daredevil. You can't have a blind actor, an actual blind actor, doing like all of these insane actions. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, how would you show them what they're supposed to do?
Yeah, unless they have like a very good stunt actor, someone who's stunt double, who's able to do all these things, because like there's a like obviously yes, stunt doubles are a thing. They do have to do all of these different things. Cool, whatever. But when you're there are certain things that the regular actors have to be doing when they have to do some extent of their own quote unquote stunts, and when it comes to a blind actor, so much more has to be done because it's a massive freaking liability thing. Especially,
It's for their safety, frankly.
it is for their safety, and there's like this there's so much debate about this, and it's kind of dumb. Like this whole debate happened when it came to Daredevil, when the original Daredevil first came out, and it resurfaced when Born Again came out. And it's like, no, they're not gonna have a blind actor playing Daredevil. I'm sorry, he has to do all these flips and kicks and shit like that. They're not gonna have him be played by some Joe Schmo who is blind. I'm sorry. They have to have someone who's actually able to do these things and is able to see, because it's a massive liability if they have someone who's actually blind doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like, even if they are extremely skilled at their job, they still have to be extremely freaking careful with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yes, there are blind martial artists and stuff like that, which is what you would need. You would need every single character, every single actor in Avatar, at least for the kids, they have taken several martial arts classes. They are martial artists. And they have martial artists with them to show them what to do, like professional martial artists, because that's what Avatar is.
Yeah.
So, and while yes, there are blind martial artists who have done who can do really amazing stuff, it's such a high liability. It's so freaking high. To the point where actually, like, big competitions rarely will even, as far as I'm aware, very rarely will you see a blind martial artist competing in like a standard martial art competition of any kind.
Yeah. That's true.
And it like, while they do exist, they have to if they were to go into a competition, well, maybe their dojo or whatever is willing to deal with the liability of that. The sports, whatever they are, they might not be willing to deal with that, the liability
Right.
of, because there's significantly more danger for that for them.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's a complicated situation. But like, thinking about that specifically is like the big reason why they will never have no blind actor is ever gonna play Toph, at least in live action. She can be played by a blind actor. Practically any character can be played by a blind actor in cartoon.
True.
There's no issues with that. Legitimately, if you are blind and you want to be an actor, I would suggest like going into voice acting. Great option, and it's significantly safer. So yeah, like, yes, there are certain things where they will have to, like, the company itself will have to work with, like, making sure that the scripts are in Braille and stuff like that, but, or whatever, whatever option that they're doing, but it's not, like, at this point, it's not as challenging to do that for a voice actor, so, yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways, that's kind of off topic, but yes, the original voice actor did really well. She did. I don't think that she might have done her voice in Legend of Korra. I kind of want to see if she did. Who did young Toph's voice? I don't know if it was. I think both times it was someone else. Both versions of that, it was someone else. And that might have been like, oh, she wasn't available or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, neither one of Toph's voice actresses, and she had two, which I assume one was the live action, one was the or one was the young version, one was the older version. So that was probably so neither one was the original voice actress. So yeah, and that just happens, unfortunately. But yeah, it's whatever. Anyways, that's all I really have to say. We were great. We went all over the place today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's nerd chat. Anything else that you want to close us off with?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So yeah, watch Avatar. That's the easy way to go. And when the movie comes out, watch the movie because it's supposedly coming out in October. So, yeah. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja. He's been Jack, and we'll see you guys next time. But on